Imagine getting so burned on a cruise ship on your first day that a French guy who speaks no English hands you a plate of tomatoes. That's not even the weirdest part.
I know.
Said, welcome to our MSC Armonia cruise review. We're going to talk about canceled ports, Mr. Bean at sea, and some grilled jerk chicken that may have been too fresh. Let's dive in. Hey cruisers, we're Adam and Mary, and
Hi.
in this cruise, oh boy, it had everything.
Everything. Yeah, it did. This is our 8-night adventure on the Armonia, MSC Armonia, and we're going to share all the fun that we had. We departed from Miami, and we should have hit Ocean Cay first thing, but unfortunately...
About 30 minutes in, we had to get back on the ship because the seas were really, really rough on this trip.
Yeah.
So, and then we got to Jamaica, and this was at the very height of COVID, so we almost didn't get off at all, but they were able to get us in. We didn't do anything really in Jamaica other than walk around the straw market there a little bit, got back on the ship, and then we went to Grand Cayman and Costa Maya.
Yeah.
But we had, a lot of fun in between that. On embarkation day, it was cloudy, overcast gray, breezy.
Yeah, it was actually a little chilly.
Yeah. And I'm flat. I love the breeze, so I took my shirt off and was loving the breeze.
Thinking you'll be fine. You're
I
not
was-
going to get any sun. It's cloudy.
Rookie mistake.
Yes.
I mean, I fell asleep. I got cooked bad.
Yeah.
I mean, it was one of the worst sunburns I ever had. But this really nice French guy, didn't speak any English at all, literally motioned me,
Yeah.
took me by the arm, dragged me all the way
To his seat.
to his seat, and then motioned me and took me to the salad bar.
Yes.
At the salad bar, he hands me a plate of tomatoes.
Yeah.
I had no idea. I just went along.
Yeah. You're on
So-
a cruise. You just,
So I went back to the pool deck, but I was under, so I was in shade. And he had me take these tomatoes.
He was showing you. He's like,
Yes. He's like, me,
Yeah.
no burn,
He was-
no
yeah.
burn. And he made me put the tomatoes all over myself, as seen in this picture.
quite entertaining.
It was. And even the ship's, the crew and some of the entertainment staff got the biggest kick out of it.
Yeah.
And I got to say, it kind of took the sting out a little bit. But I also, on that same trip, we went into the gift store on the ship, and I got some aloe vera. I went, and it was just a small little bottle is all they had, and it was almost $30. So I had to suck it up and buy it.
So lesson learned, you can get sunburn when
In
it's
gray.
overcast.
In gray skies, overcast, breezy.
And don't forget your aloe and your sunscreen because it's twice as much, if not triple the amount on the ship.
A little tip, when you're in port, go to they have drugstores on a lot of the ports. If you go just a little further in, not the first one you come to, sometimes you can find a better deal on the aloe and the sunscreen.
Unless it's a private island.
Yeah.
And everything is twice as much.
Right.
Yeah.
Again, bring sunscreen, and also make sure you bring some aloe just in case, maybe in your first aid kit.
One of the first things we noticed that when we got on the ship, I always like to try to find the cruise director and see who's in charge because they're the ones who make the fun. Immediately we saw him and we thought, what?
This guy looks like Mr.
Mr.
Bean.
Bean! He looked like Mr. Bean!
And-
And he even mentioned that at one point in one of
Right.
the shows. He's like, and,
Yes.
go ahead and say it. Let's get the elephant out of the room. And he puts a picture of Mr. Bean and himself, and he
Right.
literally looks exactly like him. But he was really, really good.
He was very entertaining, and it was in his 20 questions that he does that he gets from every cruiser, or the top 20 questions he has, and that was the top one. And just the picture they did of Mr. Bean, and he followed suit with it. It was laughable.
That whole ship, the entertainment, let's talk about that because the entertainment crew,
Were second to none.
Yeah.
I mean, they had their main shows and they had just brought on a new entertainer. They had poached over from Carnival, and she was a singer. I think they should have probably left her on Carnival. No offense. I'm sorry.
No offense, Carnival.
But one of them got sick because, again, this was the height of COVID, or at the very beginning of it.
Yeah.
A couple of the staff members had a temperature, or the entertainment staffs. The last night, all the entertainment staff got together and they did a variety show that they put together. And let me tell you, it was
It's the
hysterical.
best show I've ever seen.
They interacted with the crowd.
Yeah.
I'll show some video of it.
I was laughing. I was crying laughing because it was so funny.
And what was so fun is when we came home, all the schools were shut down, as you know, and all the kids were doing Zoom call-ins. Our kids were so bored, so we showed them some of this video of the variety show. So they decided to reenact it here at home for us.
Yeah.
I won't show it because they would be so embarrassed.
They would kill you. Yes.
I gotta say, the cruise staff on the Armonia, this was again in 2020.
Yeah.
So I don't think that they're all still there, but they put on one of the greatest backup shows I think I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Kudos to you. We went to, it was a beach day for us because
my favorite.
Because we had Ocean Cay was cut completely short. We didn't get a beach day.
Yeah.
So we decided on Grand Cayman, we'll just go to the beach. Because I had been there before, and Mary has been there before in previous cruises. But on the beach, they had like these outdoor grills set up, and there was some locals cooking some jerked chicken.
It smelled amazing.
It
couldn't
did.
help but want to eat it.
It was spicy jerky, which Mary hates spicy.
But it smelled good.
But the funny part is, when we pulled in the taxi, I think I saw that same chicken I was eating chasing some kids down the street.
Yeah, there's chickens everywhere.
They're just wild, but
It makes you wonder.
it was delicious.
Yeah.
I guarantee
Fresh.
if you get there, try it. It might be wild, but it's amazing.
Ignorance is bliss.
Again, I was still sunburnt and recovering, so I was laying on the beach with towels all over me. I think only my eyeballs were sticking out. Miserable from the heat, but I had them dumping like water on the towels to keep me cool. I was just miserable, but I wasn't going to ruin it for everybody else.
In Grand Cayman, you can't have a miserable day there, I don't think.
No,
You're at the beach. The beach is it has the 7 Mile beach, which is beautiful, and it's one of my favorite places. One of our stops was Costa Maya, which we've been to a few times, and I really like it, but we decided to do an excursion, and it was kind of a double excursion. We got to visit the Mayan ruins and do a home lunch experience at a Mayan home, and it was a lot of fun.
It was, even though it was a village, it was like rundown,
Yeah.
wild dogs and cats everywhere.
Right.
But when we pulled up to this home in our taxi, I think there was only maybe 3 couples maximum.
Which I love. I love smaller group excursions.
And I use a company called Shore Excursions Group. It's a third party. I have a link down below. I encourage you, check them out.
Yeah.
They're generally way cheaper than the cruise line.
We have yet to had a bad experience here.
I've never once had a bad experience personally.
Yeah.
I'm going to talk about later in another video where somebody else might have had a little bit of a hiccup.
Yeah.
But we'll get into that in a later video.
But they made us lunch and they taught us how to make tortillas. I think this lady, she was probably, 75, 80 years old.
Every bit of.
And she was showing us how to roll out the tortillas and cook them on this open fire pit with I don't even know what it was, but it was really neat. And then they cooked chicken in the ground. They wrapped it in, is it bamboo leaves maybe? I'm not really sure what it was. Or palm leaves, something.
It grew right there in their garden.
Yeah, everything they had, they grew it in their yard, basically, in their small area that they had. I learned that they had their own pineapples, and I learned that it takes almost 3 years for one pineapple to grow.
And only a plant can produce one pineapple.
Yeah, one pineapple.
That's it.
Yeah, but it was the best pineapple I've ever had in my life. Yeah.
And the adobo spices, I was trying to ask our tour guide what it was, and he was trying to translate.
But they ended up selling us some somehow.
They sold us.
Yeah.
I think you can get it at their Walmart there.
Probably.
But
Probably.
they almost look like bouillon cubes.
Yeah.
But you did something with
And
it.
it's not in English, so you don't know what's in it.
Yeah. I don't know. He just said reconstitute in water and put it in your chicken and marinate it. It was good.
But yeah, everything we had was
I don't
great.
have it anymore.
They showed us their yard and their home and things like that, and it was a really, really neat experience. I would highly recommend it.
Yeah. And can you explain to us what your best excursion in Costa Maya has been? We need some new ones to try because we've got some upcoming ships that'll hopefully that are landing in Costa Maya. I think 2 actually.
Yeah.
In the next 2 years. So comment below and tell us your best excursion there and what you recommend. We've done the little
ruins.
the Mayan ruin and the port that is there.
Yeah.
And then we did one where we did a beach day excursion with drinks and lunch.
It was okay.
It was okay. But I need something new to do there. So tell us below what you do.
Yeah.
And also be sure to like, subscribe, and comment below, and hit that little bell icon so you're notified of all our newest videos as they come out. Now let's talk about karaoke. It's a cruise staple for us.
Yeah.
But on this sailing, I mean, it turned into a full-on spectacle.
It did.
I mean, people were just singing, performing.
Inviting other people to come up and sing with them, dancing while other people were singing.
Yeah.
It was fun.
Even the captain, the guy in charge of the ship.
Yeah.
I mean, he walks up and he, in full uniform, and sings for everybody. Mm-hmm. I'm sitting here thinking the whole time, man, he's great. Who in the heck's driving a ship?
Yeah.
I mean, it's crazy.
Yeah.
But it was so much fun that just like, again, the staff interacting with the passengers, and it just made for a great time.
I think that's what I like about these smaller ships. The staff, a lot of times, they feel more intimate. It's more close. They get to recognize you and they point you out. And I think that's one of the things I like about these smaller MSC ships.
Yeah. And then on the big seashore, which we reviewed a couple videos back, which I'll link below or up here, and the staff on that ship, which again, I like them. They work very hard.
Yeah.
But the staff on the Armonia was different. They like to interact, especially entertainment staff.
Yeah.
And we just had a lot of fun with them.
We did.
Now, I'll show some video where Mary got up to sing, and this older gentleman from the audience come up and was dancing, and just, it was so much fun. We had my brother-in-law and sister-in-law, her brother and sister-in-law, along for this cruise. It was their very first cruise.
Yeah.
This was all of our first MSC cruise. So they had a really good experience, and they even got up to sing, and they don't do that.
No, they don't.
They don't. But I don't know. It was just...
It's such a fun environment. You just can't help not.
Right.
It's fun. Pretty much on every ship, we find a little small area, typically by a bar, that is quiet, and a lot of times they'll have music playing and things like that, and we like to play cards, and we did find a place like that on this ship, and...
She learned to play euchre.
I learned to play euchre, finally. It only took years. I'm not going to say how many years,
But she's
years.
turning out to be a little hustler.
Yeah. But anyway, we found a little area. They served really great drinks. It was a quiet, dark, a little bit atmosphere. Small tables that we could sit, play cards.
If I recall, it was a little lower on the ship.
A little. It's not something that I don't think people would like specifically go to, but make it a point to go and find these spots, because sometimes those end up being our favorite spots to meet up, or be like, hey, let's meet there and let's play cards. Let's go have a drink there before dinner. I know the one night there was a guy playing a guitar.
Yeah.
And barely spoke any English, but he was singing all the songs. And one of our favorite songs is Tennessee Whiskey, that we dance to when we hear that song. And we asked if he knew it, and he's like, no, just wait. So on his break, he literally learned Tennessee Whiskey.
So he came back.
He came back.
And he had a little Jamaican twist to it.
Yeah.
But he did it, so we got up and danced.
It was so awesome.
And it was just a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And I really liked the extra mile they took.
Yeah.
I want to talk about the dining room, the main dining. We attended one evening.
Yeah, just one, which is not normal for us.
Yeah. Now, her brother and sister-in-law did not come to any of them.
No.
Because they were napping a lot.
Come to find out, she was pregnant, hadn't told anybody yet. On this ship, the seas were a little rougher.
Yeah, so they were very
did get
seasick.
some seasickness on this ship, which is not normal, especially this time of year and things like that. But I feel bad. They did have a great time.
Yeah.
But they did have some seasickness just because of the rough waters.
Yeah, so they skipped dinner and ended up coming later after they took some Dramamine and took a nap. They came and ate at the buffet. So, but we ate one night at main dining, and it was just okay. The service was great, but the food was just not there on this ship. It may be better now, I'm sure it is. But we ate at the buffet most of the time.
I think my main concern was it was crowded.
It-
We were at a little tiny table for 4 people, and there was not enough room. So I don't like to feel that like closeness, especially when
Yeah.
I'm eating. So that just kind of deterred me from going back. But other than that, I don't think the food was bad. The buffet food was great. I liked the buffet
I don't
food.
know. I just think the main dining food I was not impressed with.
Yeah.
I don't think they like salt. And you generally have to ask for that. But I like some of my, especially steaks and stuff, cooked in some salt.
It's because we're American.
I know. And I'm
We put
fat.
salt on everything.
I'm a foodie and I like food. And
You're not a foodie. You just like food.
you're right. I like food. But all in all, we skipped the main dining pretty much on this cruise. The buffet was really good. The pizza, again, really good.
Pizza,
Not as good as on the seashore.
the pool bar, grill, the burgers and hot dogs were good.
So, final thoughts on this cruise. Set aside the sunburn, the miserable ache I had. It was unforgettable. Nothing got out of hand or too wild, but boy, we had a good time.
We did.
And great memories made on this ship. Even though it's a small ship, and I think it's older for them. I'm finding I really like these little ships. Now, I love the big ships too.
Yeah.
But those little ships have a charm about them that I encourage you all to try. And it was such a great price. And and even though there was some mishaps with some of the crew being sick and COVID, the entertainment staff went above and beyond.
Oh yeah.
And I would definitely sail this ship again.
Yeah, definitely.
So we're the Holletts, and thanks for hanging out with us. And we look forward to seeing you again later. Bye.
Bye.